Hi guys, it's Weedle. Welcome back. I'm gonna do a first impression video on the new AAT60. I got this in the loot boxes yesterday. If you've seen that video, I also got the 3D skin. I got pretty lucky on the. It was like got the skin like the first 5 boxes, and like by the 13th box I had the tank. So I consider myself pretty lucky to get it. Was kind of wanting the Nemesis, but I got this one instead, and I'm kind of probably glad I did. This is actually a pretty nice tank. First of all, I am a Star Trek fan. Live long and prosper. So I love this. Um, Very Star Trek-esque looking skin. I like the little spinning warp cell here. Even the name on it, the NCC 12810. You get the little laser gun up here. The barrel, you can actually see through it, which is really neat. So, yeah, I like this skin. Um, Probably one of the better skins they've come out with. But as for the tank itself, I do like this tank. The way I have it set up with, the premium consumable and the bounty gun rammer, I'm up 2800 DPM. That's really good. The .31 accuracy, I don't have all the field mods, so that'll get a little bit better, but good. Aim time 1.8. What I really, really like about this tank, though, is the standard rounds have 230 millimeters of pin. And that's enough that most of the time I do not feel like I need to fire premium rounds. But I was curious if I just shot premium rounds for no reason, could I still make credits? And this is without, boosters or anything. I came out with 50,000 credits just firing straight premium rounds, and it wasn't like I had a monster game. It was 2,300 damage. So, um, even bounced 2 rounds, I think, in the match, but or didn't pin. I guess heat doesn't really bounce. But yeah, I mean, really, I really like it. I've been making a ton of credits with this thing. It's probably one of the more credit efficient tanks they've come out with that I have played at least in quite some time. As far as equipment, I do think there are two pieces of equipment that I don't think are really negotiable on this thing, and that's the gun rammer and the turbo. This tank does feel a bit sluggish, and I'll go into why in just a moment. But these two pieces are absolutely necessary. Now, the third piece of equipment, you got a lot of options you can put in for this third piece, and I think all of them are viable. It kind of depends on your play style, but you could go with hardening if you're really aggressive, aiming device if you're more of a snipey player. Vertical stab I think is perfectly reasonable. Vents also works on this. I've been running the optics for right now. I'll probably switch that out and try some different pieces of equipment, but like I said, the rammer and turbo are just, I think 100% of the time you're going to take those no matter what map you're in. I do have some Ace Tinker gameplay I'm going to show, but first let's just kind of compare this tank to some others and want to show why I think it's feeling a bit sluggish. Okay, so I've chosen to compare this tank with a couple others that you can get out of the loot boxes. One's the Lansing C and the Kampfpanzer. Now, as you can see, the DPM wise is right in the middle. Alpha, it does have more alpha, but look at the penetration values. Oops, on this 230 versus 208 and 205. And that's really why I feel like I don't have to shoot premium rounds most of the time. Is 230 is more than enough to deal with almost every tier 8 you come across, except for maybe a couple of heavies. The damage with the 320 alpha, it's right there with the Lansing. It's quite a bit higher than the Kampfpanzer, but the Kampfpanzer's got like a 4-second reload when you put a rammer on it, so that's kind of how it makes up for that really high DPM. Another thing I really like about this is the number of shells you get. Like, I don't run out of ammo on this thing. You can take a lot of just standard gold and premium. Really nice velocity, the 1150. Pretty standard on APCR at tier 8, but you feel like you can snipe a little bit better in it. Excellent aim time. Not as good as the Kampfpanzer, but still good. But as for the sluggish part, and this right here is kind of what I noticed. Even though it's got pretty bad power to rate ratios and really bad terrain resistances, especially compared to the other tanks, and also a lower top speed. So you always kind of see that as I'm kind of moving in the gameplay. It feels a little slow, and that's the reason I think you just gotta have a turbo on this. But other than that, really good. Just all around, it just kind of hits everything just right, better in a lot of cases than these other tanks. Um, it's probably one of the better premium tanks they've come out with in a while. So have been having some issues with my internet router, and as you can see, a little bit of the bouncing around. Despite this, I was still able to have a decent tank and a decent game, um, and enough to at least give me an ace tanker. And hopefully, I get the my router issues fixed, and I can start streaming again, so you can catch me playing live. But really, this is kind of where I mean this tank feels kind of sluggish. I mean, it's kind of, I know, in the mid 40s, but you just feel like you can kind of just keep up with the back end of the tanks, and that's really what I've kind of figured out why the turbo is 100% required on this tank. Get a little track shot there. It's enough to secure the kill for my teammates, and I got 500 assist damage. I'll take it. This particular map, I don't find very friendly to medium tank play. Yep, same. More lag issues. Despite this, still, like I said, I end up having a pretty decent game. But yeah, this thing does have good concealment from, at least when stationary. It's got very good accuracy, and I think for the most part I just fire normal rounds in this one. I don't fire a lot of heat rounds. This map honestly does not create very exciting gameplay most of the time, unless you're just Cupola sniping down in the south. But any chance you get where people are poking, you can actually have a decent game. But it's very much you just waiting for the enemy team to make mistakes. You can go to the little bowl at E5 if you're just a more aggressive player. I do not recommend that on this map when I'm doing any kind of coaching, just because it's a position you can't retreat from, and if it goes south, it goes south really quickly. All I can say is the force is strong with this guy. Every time I look at him, he like backs behind a rock. But yeah, the game starts off kind of slow. Obviously, I did mention I did get an ace tanker, so it does kind of pick up. And finally, I realized he's moved, and I have shots. Again, force being strong with him. Again, excellent gun handling. I do get spotted. Sometimes the armor does work on this tank. It's amazing. The Artie was like looking right there. It was like he was just waiting. Just wait for myself to go back dark, pull back up, and this guy's doing a pretty good job of trying to. He's in a bad position. He probably regrets going there. He's kind of odd for a medium tank to actually go to that position anyway. But yeah, see right there, a standard round went right through the turret. I mean, I realize the Skoda doesn't have a lot of armor, but you know. So here, I'm kind of waiting for that G-Sword to die, and once that G-Sword is dead, I know I can kind of push up that B line a little bit. So that's really all I'm waiting on. And he's going to die here in just a minute, and that allows me to push. Now, to my knowledge, there's a Pagetto and a Type 59 on that 8 line. And I see my team is now aggressively moving toward the G-Sword. They're going to try to finish him off. Artie's also firing at him. So it's just a momentary, just, you know, sometimes you need to wait 20 seconds, 30 seconds for something to happen. I give him just a little bit of time up here and decide to go ahead and make my move. And what I'm going to do, and a tip, when you're going to start trying to push, you need to kind of let your teammates know that you're pushing forward and you're going to try to get them to help. Hopefully they do. Just, you know, watch a mini map, see if they're rotating with you. So I look at my Skoda, ask him to help. He knows I'm pushing. I got the hit points. I noticed that he's following. I let this guy know, same thing. And and I kind of just start moving up this hill. Now, one thing you'll get to notice, this thing has excellent reverse speed, and that does come in handy. So here, I get a shot. He gets a little bit tilted, but look how fast I can back up around this corner. And he's just tilted and just chases me. As you can see, the lag again. Um, Hopefully I have that fixed and I can start kind of streaming again. So I see I'm below his gun, and I don't want to just rush up and get shot, but as soon as he fires, I know I can get up here. Um, he might be getting reloaded about the time I get here, and you kind of see the poor power to rate ratio kind of here. Like I said, not a very fast tank, but I can take a hit, so I'm not too worried about it. Repair the ammo rack. I'm gonna basically pull up this hill so that British medium there can't just shoot me. Get another track shot in. I do the same thing to this tank. Just gives me his track, secure it, and yep, this guy's pretty much done. My teammates just came with me. Like I said, when you work together with your teammates, good things happen. So just like that, up to right at 25 damage and 1600 assisted damage. Pretty much, I believe all that came from tracking. And yeah, I think I ended up with like I don't know how much damage I ended up with. I know I got 2 more kills. I so I didn't need premium heat rounds here, but I really wasn't paying attention to what I had loaded. Again, good gun handling. But yeah, this, like I said, this tank's just making really good credits. If you're lucky enough to get it in the loot boxes, I do not think this is a tank that you're going to regret having in your garage. I don't know if I would keep, well, actually I do know. I would not keep buying loot boxes and hoping to get it. If you get it, great. If you don't, it will come on sale at some point in the future, so I really wouldn't worry too much. I tried switching to an APCR round. He's kind of at a weird angle. And the reason I switched to the APCR round is there, if you notice, there's a rock wall down there, and heat does not go through fences and things like that. So most players know that. I come across some people that don't every now and then, so reason I have to go ahead and mention it. Again, like I said, I'm really struggling right now with the lag. It's kind of unfortunate, but here, battle's basically over. I'm just going to rush forward, try to get what I can. But yeah, despite the lag I was having, you know, I had several like mid 3,000 damage games in this, and I think this was my first ace. Yeah, just go John Cena on this guy and secure the kill. But yeah, I like this tank, so definitely worth picking up. So, what are my final thoughts on this tank? It's probably one of the better premium tanks that they have come out with in a while. It's not overpowered or anything. Like I said, it doesn't have any armor, so this will have a bit of a skill cap. It's not going to be very forgiving to mistakes. It doesn't have the speed to get you out of trouble if you do. Like I said, it has excellent reverse speed, and that does come in handy when you're playing this. But what I like most about it is honestly it just makes a lot of credits, and that's regardless if I'm firing premium rounds. I've always made credits in it. I think my criticism, if you watched my G-SOAR video, is it doesn't make credits, especially if you're firing premium rounds and not running your your boosters. But this I fired just straight premium, and I still made 50,000 credits, and I was up without boosters. So uh, making well over 100,000 when I'm just firing straight non-premium ammo. And like I said, with 230 pin, you can do that up for most tanks that you run across. You don't need to fire a lot of heat in those cases, especially at tier 8. You might if you're shooting at tier 10s or something, but yeah, if you're wanting this tank, or if you don't know which one you're kind of hoping for, whether it's the Nemesis or this one, from what I've heard from some of my clan mates that have the Nemesis, they don't particularly like it, but pretty much universally this one seems to be liked. So yeah, good luck and live long and prosper.